Alright, I should be working right now, but there's so much going on, I thought I'd just stop, make a video. I've been real busy lately, but I've been taking notes. I need to make about 5 videos right now. I'm going to try to shove as much as I can into this video. There's just been a lot going on. I'm not going to bore you with all that. I've just been really busy. Lots of rain, freaking Kelly out. So on the sunny days, I've been taking advantage of them. Alright, I'm going to do a little housekeeping here first before we get into what all's going on. Threadnosis. Y'all need to come over here. I'll put the link down below. These suggestions I'm making to you guys, these are our own. I'm fixing to give a couple of them. They've been with this channel for a while. Everybody's seeing the same thing. We're all just seeing it from a different perspective. But we're all pretty much looking at the same thing. So, and I've encouraged all of you to open your channels up. And if you'll do that, I will make a video, put you in the description box, and you can share it with everybody. The whole point to being here, what this reality is, it's a story. It's the narrative. That's the thing they need to control. Is the narrative is what you think, what you believe. This is Pisces. This is about I believe to make manifestation. And that's why it's groupthink and powers and numbers, and we create these egregores. We're like, I don't even know how to explain it, like little gods in training. You know, they can't turn you loose in the universe till you understand it and learn how to use it. And you can only do that through experience. This is really something you can't learn from a book. You can't learn from a video. You're going to have to do the homework. You're going to have to walk that mile, take that journey. You're going to have to do the inner work and the shadow work, and then you get to the point that you do nothing, and you finally learn to do absolutely nothing, because it's the doing. This place, believe, when you believe, or when you know, you don't do, you let. That's the magic word. It's the magic way this thing is. You let. You allow. It's not a command. It's not a prayer. You let, let go and let God. Let go and let the universe go with the flow. There's a narrative and a plan for your life. And right now, as long as you're watching that television or running through all that crap and hype and psyop going on the internet and even the radio, then you are running on their narrative. And that is also written in the stars the way they're doing it. But we're going to get to that. I've got so much to cover in this video. So I'm going to just try to jump right into it and get this going. Threadnosis, come over here. This channel's taking off. There's a lot to learn over here. And I'm sure quite a few of you have information to contribute back in the comment section or however. I have another one. Arcs Rex, Temple of Ages. Got a few videos up. I've got some catching up to do myself. I'm way behind on everything. So come over here. The links are going to be in the description box. It's all very interesting, eye-opening. I've seen a few things. It helps me put pieces of the puzzle together when I see it from your perspective. Because you guys see what I don't see. We're all looking at the same thing. But we see it from a different way. And if I know my way and your way too, then it helps me to get that bigger overview of what's really going on. Now, let me jump from here to here, because a lot of these videos, like Threadnosis, his are 15 minutes long, so until he gets past that point on YouTube, he is uploading on another channel. I don't know if it's Brighteon or Rumble, but a lot of you come over here to Brighteon and you're telling me that it won't let you in without signing up. I don't have that problem. Right now I've got no ad block on. I'm not logged in. I'm not signed up. And every once in a while you do get this pop-up that wants you to sign up for a free newsletter. That's what it does. But all you do is just X that box out, and you're right back on you're still on that page, and it won't bother you again. All that don't go on over here. The site's pretty clean and easy as far as if you just want to go watch a video. So come on over here to Brighteon as well. I've got a channel with the older videos here if you want to play catch up. And somewhere around here I have a couple of flash drives that's got the rest of those videos on it. I just haven't uploaded them to Brighteon yet, but maybe on a rainy day when I don't have anything else better to do, I will find that flash drive and upload those videos. Now, I got a lot I want to talk about today, and I actually want to talk about, this is the video I want to make. I will and am going to include some Pope stuff in this, but right now I want to do the root of the video I want to do, because I'm going to have to use Stellarium as well. So let's just start with it. Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God had said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And when they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldst not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me. That means wholly seduced, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, above every beast of the field, and upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life. And this is what we want to pay attention to. is 15. And I will put my enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. I'm going to put enmity between thee and the woman, between your DNA and her DNA, between your offspring and her offspring. Not Adam. This whole thing going on is about the serpent and the woman. Adam is an innocent bystander. So, I want to take you to the heavens and show you this verse. It will bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Let me pause this and launch Stellarium. Alright, let's get this set up. There's so much going on in my head. We got so much going on over here. You know, all of our tales, it doesn't matter. The whole New Testament is the star lore in the Arabic zodiac, Aramaic. It's actually Oriental. I don't know why they... Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. This is really weird. Bruises heel, bruises head. This is the story right here. This is the serpent. This is the serpent. He's the snake charmer. The enmity, the seed of the woman, is the snake charmer. Let me... It won't let me move it over. But this is the story right here. There's the prophecy. Now, we're not used to looking at this in here. This is the first incantation, the first prophecy, the first spell, the first ritual, right out of Genesis 3:15. And it's the head of the dragon, the head of the serpent. And he's the snake charmer. He's Hercules. He's Hercules in the Greek. Let's move it over so we can see it in the other Western tradition. Remember, we got to look at it as many different ways as we can. I don't know why that's not cutting off. This is Hercules. Same thing here. Head of the dragon. And the snake charmer. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's battling the multi-headed serpent. And remember, this is Ashtaroth here. Ashtaroth, the Queen of Heaven. And we got Arcturus here. We got Polaris here. Polaris is our northern star. He's right below the dragon, or the dragon's right below him. He is the north. He's the polar. He's the center of the circle. It's the center point. a square has 4 points, 4 corners, but a circle only has one, and it's in the center. It's the pole star. Pole is a very unusual word, especially the way it's used in Black's Law, in politics, and we use it in several different ways. But it's Polaris, hinting the pole star. But it's also something else. It's got many names. Tramontana, Yildiz, Mizmar, Sinasura, Al-Rubica, like the Rubicon. Rukaba, Al-Rukaba. So, if we change the star lore again, we come back to, why is it doing that? It's a goat. Polaris is the goat. There's the goat of Baphomet. I don't think Capricorn is the goat. I don't think the goat in My Pet Goat 2 in Capella is the goat. This is the goat. This is the goat they're worshiping. This is the Baphomet goat. It's the freaking pole star. It's Polaris. It's starting to all make sense now. I never could, I was always juggling between Gemini and Capricorn. And I never knew that the goat in the Arabic was the pole star. But now I know. The more I play with this thing and the different star lores and the different zodiacs, the more you learn. You pick a star and just go through all the different zodiacs. Take down as many of the names as you can and try to look them up. That's pretty hard to do. It used to be really easy before Google took over the internet. You could get all that information on just breaking down the etymology of the names. And you could do it in any language. And now they took away my play toys. But it's all right here. This is Genesis 1. Genesis 3:15, right there. But our whole tale, the tales we tell, the narrative, the story, and you're part of it. We're all part of it. You have to tell your tale. You have to put yourself out there. You have to do something. I don't know, they call it making your mark, I guess. Your signature, your mark, your sign of nature. You're part of this story. You tell the stories. You got to be the storyteller. If otherwise, you're just stuck in somebody else's story. You got to write your own thing. Do your own thing. The template is your natal chart. I mean, it's all up there. But we get to make what's going to happen, what is, what was, and what will be is all there. But it's still our choice of how we do this journey. A lot of people go through it bitter. They're pessimist. No matter what you do, you can never make them happy. Nothing's ever good enough. Nothing's ever, it's just complain. And then the people that walk through life just joy and happy and their head in the clouds, we call them simpletons. But I think they got it figured out. Just let. Tell your story along the way. Share with others. That's really all we've got to give each other is what we've learned in the journey. If I can tell you something that's happened to me or that I've learned that could help you in your journey, then I'm happy to do so. I find it very fulfilling that I can save somebody else the trouble that I had to go through. And you should do the same. Even if it's just sitting, telling your grandkids the stories. Talk about your life and your childhood. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this new Pope thing. Let me take a look at some of my notes here. I'm sitting in the dark. Before I even get into the Pope, we need to go back to the internet for a minute. You know, sometimes I make these videos and I don't even hear what I'm saying to myself. And it's not till later that I actually realize what I've said and what I'm looking at and what the implications of that were. But we're back. We're right. Speaking of the goat and Polaris, we're right back to I Pet Goat 2, which is the center point. Center point energy is my new, and Summit are my new energy providers here. They keep selling our who I pay my bills to. We all remember this, I Pet Goat 2, and what all is going on. What all was, what is, and what's fixing to be. But there's a few scenes in here that I'm really starting to understand more of the symbolism now. And again, we keep going in circles. We just keep going in circles. And in a circle, the only thing is the center point. And the center point in a circle, in a 3-ring circus, is the master of ceremonies. So here, she's got the apple. This is the knowledge. This is the forbidden knowledge. And it's the knowledge of good and evil. And we already know what that means. It's not the fountain of youth. It's the fountain of the youth. The fountain of the youth. And that's the forbidden knowledge. It's the tree of life that you live forever. You become immortal. It's the third eye, the lotus. And the vampires here, they partake of that. Okay, we've got the 23rd Psalm, which is the valley of the shadow of death. Let me pause this. Carbondale, which is the center of the X in the XP they're going to make. The Cairo, the seal they're making over America. Carbon is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. It's 666. It's the number of man, and it's the number of death. Because we all die. We're born to die. And we're not born to live forever. We're born to die. And a dale is a valley. And that's the valley of the shadow of death. Which is Psalm 23. Which is what's right there. This is the valley of the shadow of death. Everything's winter. Everything's frozen over. We got what's going on over here, symbolizing what happened to the 9/11. Okay, here. This is Anubis. Now, we've recently come to understand that Anubis is what we call the dog star Sirius, which is Lucifer, the Nakash, or the shining one, which was also referred to as Lucifer. Again, not Venus, but Sirius. So he's riding in on Anubis, or Sirius, the dog star, which there's a whole tale behind that in the Egyptian, because they based everything on it. When Sirius rose at a certain time of the year on the horizon, it was time for the Nile to flood. The rains came and it flooded the delta, which enriched the soil. Now, I grew up on the Mississippi River. Egypt is the land of Osiris, but here is the land of Isis, and they're upside down from each other. Keep that in mind. I'm going to keep coming to that. They're upside down to each other thing. So, let's let this go for a minute. We got New York all up in this. This is the breeding the next generation. This is media and social media and television. Basically, it's the PSYOP propaganda in the box. It's the false prophet. And here comes Anubis with his flaming heart Jesus, the sacred heart of Jesus. This guy's screaming. He's hollowing out the brains. He's missing an eye. He's the one-eyed Dajjal. The TV screen is one-eyed. Okay, we got the stock markets crashing. That's always been the go signal for this whole thing going down. Then the planes fly and they hit what appears to be the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. Now, that was in the dreams I had. Here, this guy, all the crows come out, bats or whatever, bats in the belfry, and this is another depiction of that Hagia Sophia. This would be little Tammuz here, the Virgin Mary and her baby, the Catholic Church, the Byzantine Church. Now, that symbol, that seal, that Cairo that they're making over America, that's tied directly to Constantinople, because it was the sign of the cross that he saw in the sky that told him to go forth and conquer. We all assume it was a Tau cross, but it's not. It was the Cairo. That is a symbol. The X means mutation. It's the mutable cross. It means to change, to mutate, to transform. And they do that by war, which is the P, the Rho, the Cairo. To transmutate by war, the Cairo. And this is part of it. This is part of that symbol of the X. She's the virgin part of the symbol. And again, like the TV thing, his eye's missing. They're all the children are either dead or blanked inside. And there goes the third eye, the pineal gland, that lotus, buried in toxins. Just buried in toxins. And he's carrying the hammer and the sickle. Again, two symbols that belong on the mutable cross. You see them everywhere on the mutable cross. And of course, these are third world. He's got all of his tattoos and that communist threat. The colors are black and red, and they got the green light. She's got the ear of the tiger on. And again, this particular tiger is also a symbol in Gemini. Here's the master of ceremonies. He's center circle. He's pole star. He's above it all. He never moves. He's death. And this Anubis Jesus is hypnotized. He's in a trance. He's in a fog. And this guy's still hollowing out everybody. And this, he's coming out of a mouth. This is a mouth. And this is the little dangly thing at the back of your throat that he sets afire. This is very Mercurian. Mercury rules the mouth. Tongues of fire. Think tongues of fire, biblically. And he's electrical. And when he shows up on the scene, everything starts falling apart. Here we go with Kali right off the bat. When that depiction, you got it's the destroyer, Kali. In India, it would be this image. But in Great Britain, this same image is what you call the rampant lion. You'll see it on the heraldry and the crests and shields of all the royalty of Europe, especially the UK. That rampant lion, that's the same symbol here. That's the destroyer. Remember, everything we're doing is we're in the abyss. Now these is all sheep heads. This is what kind of fish this is. It's called a sheephead. And they're only found in certain waters. And they're black and white, referring to Masonic. Getting in the boat. Now, this is another one that I recently understand what is. The hand of God coming out of the sky, and he's hitting the phallic, the ivory tower. He's got the flashing red heart, and I always had trouble trying to understand who Rapunzel is locked in the tower, right? In her ivory tower. But now I know. She's crippled. One leg's bigger than the other. She's got the 3 X's. She's got her little tropical apron on. And she is losing her fertility. And she's got her magic wand. She's Hollywood. Hollywood's lost its creativity. It's no longer fertile. Its magic is not working anymore. And that's who she represents, in my opinion. If you have a different opinion, please leave it in the comment section. Again, here the mask starts coming off. And again, I used to think this was corporate America. I don't know why I associated it all with America, but this is corporate world. And I don't know if a lot of you have been paying attention to like what's going on around the world, but like in China, the cities are like, these cities that used to have tens of millions of people in them are like ghost towns. It looks like something out of an apocalypse movie to where all the people just disappeared. Like what happened in South America, you know, all these buildings left standing and everybody just disappeared. I think we kind of used to think of that way of Tartaria. All these people, and then everybody just disappeared. Where are all these Chinese people at? I don't know. My idea, they're probably at McDonald's. But this is corporate world. And Anubis Jesus is wiping them out. And then there goes the false prophet. There goes the propaganda, the media. And the hollowed out kid finally gets up. And he's got to find a whole new world for himself. Now, I had the dream to where I dreamed almost the same thing, but instead of this dervish guy coming up out of this bombed Hagia Sophia, it was a cross, a tau cross, not a mutable, not an X, but a tau, a Christian cross. Let me put it that way. And he's doing the whirling dervish. And now the masks start coming off one by one. And it doesn't matter what the mask, the guy is still the same. Again, out of the mouth. Now all the lotuses are coming back. And down comes the fake Christian churches. These churches, these preachers, these priests, even these books stand between you and God. You have to go in, and there's nothing standing in between you and God. Only the thalamus. Only the thalamus stands between you and the pineal gland. And the old world, this still is the abyss. We're still looking at the abyss. I don't see anybody rising into heaven. I don't see, that's all fire and water. Fire and water. It's the battle of fire and ice. It's Gog and Magog. It's the Game of Thrones. And what did we learn at the end of the Game of Thrones? It's all about the story. Reality, history, it's all a lie. We agree upon a story. The only truth probably in this place is there is no truth. Truth is what you make it. Because everything here is make-believe. It's I believe, you make believe. It's the never-ending story. And if you stop telling it, it ends. That's why you got to do your narrative. Your narrative, not theirs. You got to be the center point. It's your circle. It's your circle. And you're the master of ceremonies. You're the MC. You're the Polaris. You're the pole star of your story. You're the goat. So much going on. I guess we need to talk about the Pope. Because all this is tied together. You know, and a lot of people want to call Baphomet the goat of Mendez. No, we've already been through that. That should be on Brighteon. There's no such thing as a goat of Mendez. That comes from an old stele, and it was a ram. It never was a goat. They changed it. They've changed so much stuff. But I've watched what they've done for a long time. I've looked at it in the stars when I started studying astrology, trying to figure out what it actually was. And I've watched what they do. I watched what they did, went back on all their dates of their little false flags and these rituals and stuff they've done. And I kind of learned how they're playing this game. And it built up a pattern. I saw the pattern of what was happening. And that same pattern, once you learn a pattern, you know what the next sequence is going to be. And the whole thing is almost finished to where it comes full circle. And there's only 2 dates left, and that's 6/11 and 12/11. And there's only 2 cities left, and that is Chicago and New Orleans. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But more and more, everything I'm seeing is pointing there. So I tell you this so in case I am right, you can be prepared. I'm not trying to prophesy anything. I am just showing you what these creeps are doing. So we get a new pope. The announcement of the new pope, Leo the 14th, at 6:11 in Italy, which is 11:11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The announcement of the new pope, Leo the 14th, was made at 6:11 a.m. Okay, let me pause and take care of that. So, let's cruise on down here for a minute. 2 days before they elected this pope, Cardinal Dolan asked Americans. So we got a cardinal asking the Americans for their prayers ahead of the conclave. And he does that at 6:11. He done it at 6:11 a.m. The Pope was elected on 6:11 p.m. So you got 1 a.m., 1 p.m. One for Chicago and one for New Orleans. I'm sorry I'm laughing about this because it damn sure ain't funny. But just the irony of it all, of what they're doing, is quite amazing. And to beef it all up, this is the Cardinal of Chicago. So you got the Cardinal of Chicago, an American, is elected as a pope who carries the symbol of the Chi-Rho, and he's announced at 6:11 p.m. in Italy. I mean, oh my goodness. And at 6:11 in Italy, in Eastern Daylight Time, is 11:11, but in Chicago time, it was 12:11. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried, but somebody's writing this narrative. And they're doing this by the book and on time. And I just don't know what else to say. This is, it's more than incredible. But it's all about her seed and his seed. The seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman. It's about DNA. It's about the new mother, the new Madrid. It's about attacking her DNA to get rid of her DNA. He hates her. Even in Daniel, we're told about how this one in charge, he has no respecter of women. All this feminist movement, those aren't women, they're all trannies. Those are all men pretending to be women and making up rules for women that a real woman don't want to have anything to do with. A real woman, a natural woman. That's what the war is against. The natural mother. And they're trying to birth this new mama. The Vatican even had the ceremony. They took her name from South America, and it's Pachamama. And it's a big fat woman. And just like the big fat statue of the woman they put in New York, that's Pachamama. This is all a ritual. I wonder where they're going to move it next. They said they were going to only leave the statue there for a short time, and they were going to move it. Is it going to go to Chicago next? This is just all getting too weird. That it's just all connected together. Let me see if I can go through some more of my notes here. I'm going to have to make a separate video. Some of it just is, it's not going to work in this video. Alright, let me pause and look. Yeah, I wanted to go through the new Pope's name because it's a French name. It's Prevost. And it's a public official of responsibility. A nickname for someone self-important. Self-important. From the Old French, a public official in a position of responsibility. We almost get the word preposterous, person in charge. He was a Huguenot origin, and also can be of English origins with variations. Prevost, provost. A magistrate or head of a cathedral or church. So literally, it's built into his name. And he is an Augustinian. And the word August itself, that's Cardinal Cross. That's the Most High. The August One. Augustinian. Provost reaction, a chemical reaction, an alchemical reaction. You get alchemical reactions when you combine compound chemicals, when you create compound chemicals. He was born on September the 14th, 1955. He's a Virgo. His ruling planet is Mercury. The Gemini constellation. This is the story we're being told. This is everything is built is about the story of these stars. What is, what was, and what will be. There is no new thing under the sun. This has all happened before, and it'll all happen again, because we just keep telling each other the same story over and over again. We need a new story. In the Game of Thrones, they just sold us the same story in a different package. Because in the end, you got the three-eyed raven. He was still a Stark. He was, the raven is part of the Virgo constellation. Is that who the new Pope is? Is he the three-eyed raven with the new story? We need to move to Aquarius. We need to move to remembrance. We need the seahorse symbol. We need the seagull symbol. We need the fish mouth symbol, not the tongue sticking out, but the fish in the mouth, the fish mouth. Everything they've given us has a mask on it, but it's all the same thing. It's all the same guy. It's all the same story. And this is their narrative. We got to figure out what our own narrative is and start walking that path. We're just pawns in this game of chess. We're not part of the royal court, but they put us out front to take the brunt of it. We're in the vanguard. We're just pawns in the vanguard, people. All right. Well, I think I'm going to save the rest of it for a different video. This one's almost an hour long. And I probably do need to get some work done tonight. Got to pay the bills. All right, people. Y'all know what to do. You commit those random acts of kindness. We're really going to need it, especially if this 6/11 is this year. And, you know, I'm going to put the links below. Go over to Thread Gnosis, because he understands astrology in a way I don't. And he's seeing the same dates, predicting the same things, that we're all looking at the same thing. And the storyline is definitely out there. It's coming hard and heavy this year with the 6/11, from the Super Bowl to the Pope to even the 12/11. Their 6/11 was our 12/11. Can it get any crazier? All right, people, if my channel's helped you, won't you please help me keep it coming to you? And again, thank you to those who help me with the kitties. I do have some pregnant ones, so there will be kittens. And I'm prepared. I'm actually getting ready this year. I have acquired a bunch of the tubs with the lids on them, cutting holes in them, and making places for them to be out of this bad weather we've been having. I don't know about you guys, but we've been getting a lot of storms, and they have been crazy. They've been loud, they've been wet, really strong winds like I haven't seen since I've been here. We had a big old piece of a tree come down in the backyard. All right, peoples, y'all stay safe now.